So, due to some unfortunate circumstances, I actually lost the world save file. And I was actually working on a kind of a bigger project with a couple of friends. Unfortunately, that didn't get backed up. And so here we are. So instead of fighting it, we're going to be doing something else entirely. In fact, because 1.19 just dropped, I decided that we're going to go ahead and start a new world in the Minecraft The Wild update for 1.19. And with that, in order to not drag this out too long, we are going to have goals for the first 100 days to sort of get us back on track to where we were before. So for the goals for the first 100 days are the following. Number 1, I need to make an iron farm. Pretty easy, standard stuff. The reason being is that most of my bases need a lot of iron. And to get iron in the quantity that I need to make sure to build an iron farm, which inevitably means that I'm probably going to make an iron chasm of some design. Probably not as robust as the first one. It might actually just be open air, but either way, it's going to be it's an iron farm. Number 2, I need to make a home base, and it must have a ceiling of some sort. It has to represent some sort of building. The biggest thing, regret that I made on the first 1.18 version of Technical Guide is that my base wasn't really a base per se. I mean, yes, I had a base of operation, but it wasn't really a base. I didn't have like a building. So the home base must be a building, i.e. must have a ceiling of some sort, even if it's like a castle with like an open sky. It needs to look like a building of some sort. Number 3, I have to acquire netherite gear. And not only that, it has to be enchanted netherite gear. But the thing is, the enchantment doesn't have to be fully enchanted armor, because I won't be able to do that without getting a speed sneak. So to sort of get around that, netherite gear enchanted of some sort. It could be curse of binding, mending, just an enchantment of any kind. Number 4, we are going to need a beacon. Now, for those who have watched the first season of Technical Guide, but the skeletons actually have a very, very low drop rate when it comes to actually dropping wither skulls, and you need 3 of them in order to make a beacon. So beacon is going to be probably later on, maybe day 50, 60, maybe even 70, maybe at the same time, or maybe before or after we're going to have the ender dragon killed. The ender dragon being killed usually means that you have quote-unquote beaten Minecraft. But with the advent of a new warden, and as the final goal for the 100 days, we have to go find and kill the warden. Now, for those who are unaware of the stats of a warden, it has the highest HP of any mob in the game, has the strongest hits of any mob in the game, can basically kill you with a protection 4 fully netherite gear, and you can't just pillar up and kill it. You can't cheese it in the conventional sense, so it's going to require some sort of science in order to beat it. And with that being said, these are the 6 goals that I have for my first 100 days. I'm going to do my best to try to meet all my goals by the 100th day marker, and I hope you're in it for the ride. So let's begin. With that, we're going to create our new world, call this the Technical Guide, because that's what we're doing, because set the difficulty to hard. We are actually going to put in a couple of data packs, the coordinates, HUD, the daytime, and no, we won't do the durability pin because that seems kind of cheaty. But we're going to keep the day count, which will keep us on track for the first 100 days, and the coordinates HUD because I don't want to play with an FD screen on it at all times because I love seeing coordinates. That's how I play. For more options, we're going to keep everything to default, and then let's begin. What's up, my roomies, and welcome back to the Technical Guide to Minecraft. And we're back with a new world. As I said before, I completely lost my old stuff, and so yeah, right off the bat, we're going to cause the trigger to turn on the day count, just so we know what it's on, as well as the coordinates mod, just so you don't have to see the FD screen the entire time. Now, as stated before, I have 6 goals that I need to accomplish. Number 1, I need to make an iron farm. Number 2, I need to build a house of some sort, a building. It has to have a ceiling, some sort of ceiling. Anything was better than the open airspace that I had before. 3, I had to go enchant netherite gear. It doesn't have to be max enchantment, just has to be an enchantment. 4, I need a beacon. 5, I need to kill the ender dragon, and 6, I need to kill the warden. And with all those in mind, let's get right to it. So first things first, I'm gonna go out and venture off into the ocean to go see if I could go find a mushroom island of some sorts. Hopefully there's carrots in here. If not too bad. At the very least, we got a bunch of iron, so that's gonna be quite a boon for us. On the other side, it seems that it is covered in sand. I think it's yeah, right here. TNT, that's not so bad. I'll grab the rest of this paper, and right off the bat, let's go grab, actually I should probably grab those chests, but I'll grab them as soon as I'm done getting some wood and supplies. We need at least You know what? We'll just chop down this entire acacia tree, and then we'll play it by ear from then. Create a boat to make an axe, shovel, and a wooden pickaxe. Okay, cool. Now that we got that, let's grab this again. Grab those 2 chests from in there, and let's begin sailing. Oh my goodness, come on. Thank you. Oh, I probably also need to get a bed, so I need to go get some sheep. Actually, I could probably shear it. Probably give me a bigger return if I just shear it. I have the iron. I'm getting the shears anyway, so yeah, okay, fine. Ooh, 3 white sheep. Okay, that works. Alright, I wish it was 6, just so then I can make 2 beds. 1 for exploring, 1 for my home base, but it's fine. Oh, actually, just ate some grass, so wonderful. 1 more bed. Now we have it for when we eventually find a home base. Don't need these wheat seeds, so go away. I will keep the paper, though, for future. Hi, Toro. Okay, got some sugar cane. Let's grab this boat, and let's go sailing. Making good time right now. It's not even 12 on the first day. But, I think with all things considered, it should work in our favor. So let's just start sailing. Ooh, a second ship. Let's go over there, loot it, and maybe we can get some carrots in there. It's rare, but they do sometimes have it, so it's always worth a gander. Hello? This should be able to open up. Oh, well. Okay, so it was a bit of lag. That's fine. Oh, we got carrots right off the bat. That's beautiful. Okay, let's get back to our ship. And now that we have everything that we could need for a beginning, it should be relatively simple. Oh! Ooh, a mushroom island right next to coral reefs. Oh, it's gonna look so pretty. Wonderful. Okay, what a good start. All right, now that we found a mushroom island, let's set up a small base of operations here. How big is this mushroom island? Because if it's too big, it might be a bit overwhelming for me. Oh no, it's a pretty decent size. It's like not too big. Yeah, I could work with this. Okay, yeah. Okay, so for simplicity's sake, we're gonna set up shop. Let's say this is pretty close to the ocean, so for the sake of safety, I'm gonna knock down the corner. Actually, I'm gonna knock this entire mushroom down. I guess while we're here, we should also upgrade to stone tools. Now we got our first stone tools. I do actually have some extra wood, so we're gonna use that to make bowls. Mushrooms should be like maybe 1. Hopefully 1. This would suck if I don't have any mushrooms. Mushrooms! Thanks, mushrooms. Okay, now then, let's head back over to the spawn area and go find some spruce. Ooh, snow. That's fast. Spruce! Now we need at least 8 saplings in order to get this up and running. So we're gonna cut down a couple of these spruce trees and collect at least 8 saplings. Oh no, this is powder snow. No. Ooh, a village. Wonderful. All I'm missing now is just pumpkins. Where's the rest of the town? Oh, it's up there. Come on, just die, iron golem. I need your iron. Thank you. Ooh, cauldrons right off the bat. That'll save us a lot of iron. I need a bed. Where's the bed? Sorry, I'm taking your bed. Now that we got all that we need, we can actually head back to our base. Got snow, carrots. We're making fantastic time. I'm actually kind of glad that we had to start over. Ooh, those are roses and those are lilacs. All we need now are peonies and sunflowers, and we'll have all the large flowers too. God, my inventory's so full. Oh boy. We should be able to power through the night and make it back to our base. God, that's so cool that I can make a chest boat now. What happens if I destroy this? Okay, so it does dispense the thing. And with that, we have successfully made our first, I guess, it's not going to be a home base. This is not a home base. It doesn't have a ceiling, or it doesn't resemble a building. But we have created a starter home, a starter base. We'll call it a starter base for semantics sake. It's a starter base. But yeah, we've created a starter base. So I can't wait to see how this whole mushroom island, well, what it'll become. Okay, now that this area is completely ready to actually build, we're going to be doing something quite unexpected. I'm going to build a base first. Yes, that's right, me before an iron farm, before anything else, I'm building a base. I know, what a twist. There is actually a good reason for this. So I wanted to teach you all on how to actually build a actually good looking pagoda using only 3 materials. Not getting into any color theory, I'm not a builder, I don't know any of that stuff, but using 3 building materials, you could basically make a really good looking pagoda. All you'll need, some spruce, some snow, and a couple of pumpkins, just so you can make some jack-o'-lanterns. And with that, you could actually make a really nice looking pagoda with minimal and renewable resources. So let's go to KigaCore and I can teach you on how to do that. Welcome to KigaCore, the official testing center for when I want to try out builds and other stuff. Now if you notice, all my redstone contraptions are gone. Instead, I'm going to be teaching you on how to actually create a really easy house using very little materials. You can even begin this at the start of your base. Now I know that the trend right now is making medieval stuff, skylines and whatever. Myself, actually enjoy making pagodas. I think they are quite expressive while at the same time being very functional. So these building materials that you're going to need. So essentially you'll only need to start off with these 3 items in order to build yourself a nice base. Now when it comes to spruce, it actually segments itself into 3 more items: the spruce planks, spruce stairs, and the trapdoor. Oh, and also spruce slabs. So just with having spruce, snow, and pumpkin, then also branch off to planks, stairs, trapdoor, and a slab. Now, depending on how big you want your base, I would recommend something that ends in a division of 2. So what do I mean by that? So this is what I mean. So if you are, let's say this is the corner of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, basically having 2 spaces in between. Now for the sake of keeping this relatively small, because it's actually quite easily expandable and because the resources are actually renewable, I'll show you on how to do that. Before we start building though, I'll teach you on how to make these renewable. Pumpkins, or jack-o'-lanterns as you know, are just crop. Pumpkins are basically just plant. All you gotta do is hoe up an area and then just wait for them to grow. Just for the sake of speeding this up a bit, we are going to plant 4 of them there and then just speed this up just so we can have some stuff to work with. Pumpkins will then just grow into more pumpkins. Once you plonk it down, you just wait for the pumpkins to come in. While we're waiting for that, how do we make more snow? Easy. We're gonna take a building material, whatever. It could be, I'm just using dirt for the point of it. We're gonna encase this in 4 trapdoors. Now this is pretty optional, but I enjoy having some sort of division behind it. Then you put down 2 snow blocks, and then when a pumpkin pops up, you take that, and with the pumpkin, you take your shears, make a carved pumpkin, and just plonk it on top. As you know, this makes a snowman. Depending on the server that you are, typically mob griefing is allowed, but if it's not, then this won't work for you. Unfortunately, the servers need to have mob griefing on in order for this to work. But if you're playing single player, it's quite easy. All you need to do then is just grab a shovel and watch what happens. You just dig it up and you have infinite snow, thereby having a limitless supply of snow blocks. From here, you just craft more snow blocks, and there you go, you got this. So if you've established pumpkins and how to get carved pumpkins, now spruce. The great thing and the reason why that I dedicate so much time into finding spruce is that it's a very flexible tree, and in my opinion, spruce really just goes with anything. 4 square area of dirt, and plonk your things down, making sure that there's nothing next to any of the saplings, and then you just wait. For the sake of simulation, we're just gonna speed this up with some bone meal. Boom. Now you have a gigantic tree. From there, you just take your good old crafting table and you can basically shape it to any form you want. So you can make yourself stairs, slabs, or trapdoors. Now that we have carved pumpkins, how do we then turn it into jack-o'-lanterns? We're going to grab a carved pumpkin, torch, and then you'll find that when you actually combine the 2, you'll actually get a jack-o'-lantern. And with that, we have satisfied 2 things. We have an unlimited amount of snow, and look, a pumpkin just rose up. You have jack-o'-lanterns, and now we have both spruce planks, stairs, trapdoors, and slabs. And just with those 3, you can make yourself a really nice looking, well, what I would consider really nice looking pagoda. That's both functional, easy to make, and you can basically do it like within the first 2 days of being in a Minecraft world. Especially when you're just like, you don't really care too much about the looks, but you want to at least look presentable, especially when you're playing on a multiplayer server. It's a easy, cheap way to make it look like you know what you're doing. So let's get right into building. Alright, so we're gonna get our primary building thing right now, just to mark off a general area. Initially, when you're planning, to just have 2 in between. It'll help in the long run. As far as how many blocks you want to go, I would recommend at least 6. And the reason being is that then you can just do a quick thing like that. So that is one area, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So then, what to do from here? Now, for your first level, you want to make it at least 2 higher than the top of this bar. So, like that. Then what you want to do is push it all the way to the corners, but keeping the corners open for it to be overtaken. Like this. So right now it looks like this beam isn't being supported. That's where this one comes in, and you basically close it off. Now you want to put a bottom layer right here. Just like this. How you want to design this window is really up to you. You can just leave it like that. You can emphasize the top part, or you could just block it off completely with stone. Just like this. As far as the middle goes, where the door is, you just close this up. So you could either have it like this, or you can either have it like that. Or you can even like have the combination too and just do something like this. Just to keep everything sort of the same. Let me just build this up real quick, and then we'll go to the next steps. Once you have that, you'll notice that it looks pretty decent so far. Bear in mind, but if you expand it further and further, you'd have more complex designs that actually makes it look better. But for the sake of making this tutorial, we're just going to keep it simple and keep it 1 story. Well, technically, it'll always be 2 stories, and I'll get into that in just a moment. So while you're here, you'll notice I have a top log over here. What you'll want to do is actually, from the top half, start putting down your slabs. And how you want to put down your slabs is you want to push it out 4, 8, or 12, depending on how big your thing is. I'd say for every 8 placement, you add in 4. Since this is just an 8 placed pagoda, we're only going to use 4. Then you want to do this all around the pagoda. So just give me a moment as I quickly do this. Okay, once you're here, start putting down staircases. Once you have 2 levels of staircases, what you want to do is on every corner put down a really quick L shape. And from here, just skip 2 on each side, or however you want. Just try to make it as equal as possible on both ends. Let's say I want to do something irregular, I would put something here. Then I would also have to put something here. For the sake of simplicity, we're going to just keep the pattern simple like this. Same for the bottom side, making sure that they're both the same top and bottom. Go back inside, start putting down any pillars that you have, reaching from bottom to top, pushing it out until it reaches another one of its type. So like how this goes forward, this goes forward. I'm going to do that for all the sides. I just put a placeholder just so you keep track and keep going to the other side. Likewise with all the other pillars. So you get sort of this like pattern when you look up. And this will be important for later. When you've done putting all the beams together, now you want to go to the center and plunk down logs that are in line with the doors. Bear in mind, if you only have 1 door, let's say you don't have my design and you close up the rest of this, just try to get it in the center, just like this, and just move it up. Well, after you're done with that, when it's all leveled together, close it up just like this. And depending on how you want to go up and down, I prefer using a water elevator. But how you want to construct the middle way of how to go up and down is really entirely up to you. So this is more or less the main entrance to your place. More so just like a area for you to just like, ooh, ah, and when you go up, this is actually the room that you're going to be working in. So then you take your slabs and then you start filling in all the gaps. Now, depending on how big your pagoda is, the first floor could actually be functional. Because of the nature of how small the first room is, you could probably put down like some chairs over here, some chests, but it's not as optimal or functional. That's where this room comes in. It's completely designed for you to just toy around in. If you remember that we left this part open, what you want to do now is put a log basically on top like that. And depending on how big you want your personal room to be, go as high as you can. For me, I'm going to leave it at 3. Go back down to the first floor. For the more astute of you, you'll realize that, hey, this is kind of dark. From here, you can make yourself some spruce fences and actually go down. Put down a jack-o'-lantern and then cover the entire thing up with trapdoors. Then once you've filled all 4 corners, and again, you might have to do some modifications just based on how big your area is, the entire room on the first floor will be lit. So if you set time to night, you'll notice that the light in here is still pretty light. The lowest being 9 actually, as opposed to 0. What can you do for the flooring? Put down the wood where the doors are, or I guess passageways, whatever you want to call them. You can put doors there, but I'll teach you how to do doors properly so that zombies just don't break down the doors. Same thing over here. From there, just put down double of spruce logs and then replace the bottom area with just some more slabs. Now, for those of you that are wondering how I'm personally going to go up and down this thing, let me show you a pretty neat trick that you can do on the early game so you don't have to waste so much wood and so much time. Well, relatively speaking. We're going to grab a water bucket and we're going to grab signs, which again, you can make with spruce. So the signs, put them on the edge, and just so you can make it look aesthetic, if you want, you can just wrap the signs around just like that. And then once you've surrounded it, what you want to do is just have just cover this up and make an infinite water source right on top. And then just break it down. Because the signs are there, it actually won't float out. So what you have is a really nice looking water pillar at the middle of it, which also looks acceptable from the outside. Now for those who actually want to put doors outside, you could also make with more spruce. Spruce is just so wonderful in my opinion. But if you want to put down doors, make sure you do it properly. How you do it properly is like this. So you want to go into the corner and then aim for the opposite side like that. What happens is that if you look on the right hand side of the screen, you'll see that this is marked close. But if I open it, it actually or if I close it, it actually marks as open. Now the reason why this is important is because the way that zombie's tracking, it'll try to push down doors that are closed, specifically in hard mode, whether it be zombies or piglin zombies. If it's on hard mode, they want to knock down a closed door. But if a door is continuously open, it won't actually figure out how to get there. So again, we do it on the other side, then we open the door, and voila, you have an open closed door. I know that's a bit confusing, an open closed door, but I hope you get the point. So let's quickly do it for the rest of this. So again, go on the side of it, aim for the corner, open it, aim for the other corner, open it, aim for the 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 corner, open it, and there you go. Now, as far as the lighting on the outside goes, you'll notice that it's quite dark. So what you want to do here is that because of the way that we put down our slabs, you go down 1 on each corner, and then what you want to do is skip 1 and place 1, skip 1 and place 1. Then you want to put down your jack-o'-lanterns like before, and you can see right off the bat it's a lot brighter. Then, just to keep aesthetics, just close it up with trapdoors. And orientation does matter, because depending on where you put the bottom trapdoor will go left or right. For me, I'm just kind of rushing it, so I'm not really caring too much. But if you really want to make sure you point it in the direction that you want it to be on. To add some more flair to this, what you can do now is actually put a fence around it. I know it seems pretty simple, but just the small details like that, sort of like this, already puts a lot of detail behind it. So what you want to do is make sure that you're underneath the ceiling and place down the fences on each side of the logs. Then where the door is, or what the opening is, fence gates. It's simple, clean, effective, and in my opinion, looks pretty good. I'm going to do this the front just so you can see it. Like right there, it's already coming together. It's only really using 5 base materials. That is also renewable. So we're going to go back to the top and finish the top part. Now what you can do is on the pillars that you actually erected, to replace it with a jack-o'-lantern just like before in the middle parts, and then just replace with trapdoors. Now if you are wary of the spacing, what you can also do instead is actually place it at the top. Either way, there'll be enough lights from the tops of these to actually reach the entire area, so you don't have to worry about hostile mobs actually spawning in here, because these 4 pillars will actually cover the entire area. And because they're too high, that'll typically prevent the trapdoors from actually interacting or interfering with whatever build that you're doing at the first 2 block levels. So once you have that, we are going to continue on. Just place down 1 more layer of stairs. From there, place a slab on top of the pillars, whether it be a jack-lantern or another log, and just wrap this all the way around. Okay, now that you have a 2x2 opening, what you'll want to do now, in order to prevent this, because this place, as you can tell, because there's a lot of wood, is incredibly flammable. with lightning. And if lightning strikes it, it'll be gone. And that's the downside of building all this, but we can prevent that easily with whatever stone that you're using. Actually, we'll use cobblestone because that's probably what you'll have. In the middle floor, you want to wrap it around with cobblestone, and then around the cobblestone middle, wrap it again with staircases. Now from here, just plonk down however many lightning rods you want. I'm just gonna put down 4 just to keep everything like uniform. But honestly, you only really just need the 1. Now, the reason why we put staircases here is because when lightning strikes, there's a chance for it to light something on fire within the next area of the lightning rod. So, now that you have that in mind, you'll notice that we have one last thing to do. This whole area right here is spawnable. So how do we fix that? Jack-o'-lantern in the corner instead. Just put trapdoors around it. And do this for all the different corners. And there you go. A really simple and easily expandable pagoda. Now, the pagoda right here is only 2 levels, but honestly, you could actually keep stacking this on top of that and on top of that until you reach, until you get to a point where you want to connect everything. And that's probably why I like pagodas. They're very flexible, easy to make, very cheap, and really they don't really take that long to make. And honestly, I think it looks pretty good. So let's set it to nighttime and you can see what it looks like at night. And that's more or less how you build a pagoda. Your mileage may vary depending on how big you want it. And again, you could actually add in another layer on top just to make it that much more impressive. But that's more or less the basic idea of how to make a pagoda. Again, you can expand it as much as you want. You can make it as short or as big as you want it. And yeah, that's it. Functionally wise, when you walk through the fence gate and close it and go through the entrance, you'll be met with this water elevator. You can just go up and down. And then you can start decorating as you see fit. Honestly, I just like how easy it is and how good it looks for what it is, honestly. Now that we got that clarified, let's begin building the base. I'm kind of not looking forward to it, mostly because like the infrastructure for the pumpkins and the spruce trees and the snow isn't ready, but let's get right into it. And with that, on day 24, we have ourselves a home base. It's crazy that this is the first thing that I actually did in this world. I mean, who am I? Let's go take a quick tour around this base. So like the first floor, it's being lit up by these jack-o'-lanterns. And I could basically put anything. Ooh, I missed a spot. I'll fill that in later. It's being lit up by jack-o'-lanterns, and I could basically put anything I want over here. I sort of put windows at the bottom just for like aesthetics purposes, but I could basically put anything I want in here. Probably not gonna do anything on this floor, at least not in the foreseeable future. Maybe put in like a crop field area right here. But if you go into the second floor, this is probably gonna be our storage area. Because these are stairs up here, I could just stack chests in here, and this will be like our temporary like storage area before we have an automated storage facility. Again, being lit up by jack-o'-lanterns right over here. Go up another level, and now we have like a sort of staging area. The staging area is really meant for like when I have an elytra, I need to just jump up and go, or you know, just for cinematic shots. Because let's be honest, it's not enough to just make tech stuff. Sometimes you gotta make it look good. Anywho, later on, you might make a micro farm like in the corner over here, and micro farms will be covered in a later episode. And finally, on the top floor, we have my room. Now you might notice that it's cramped, and mostly because it is. See, I don't really need that much. I'm probably gonna have like a private chest up here, maybe like a bed right here, then have some like smithing table or like utility workstation blocks here. For the most part, this is just an area for me to just like sleep in and put some stuff that are near and dear to me in here. So, you know, armor stands, my first item stuff. For the most part, this area is just going to be more or less just where I sleep at night. So yeah, and with that, that's the entire pagoda so far anyway. In the future, I'm planning to expand downwards all the way to bedrock, but before we do that, I need to go take care of other goals. That being said though, we managed to actually finish off one of the lists that I didn't think we'd do at first, and that was to build a home. And so with that, we only have 5 more goals to do. I'm excited, you should be too. Well, my roomies, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more, and I will see you all next time. But until then, I have been your #1 and most humble host, Kigurumi. Bye-bye.